My next guest is going to be defending his Bellator middleweight title coming up here at Bellator 299, September 23rd. It is right around the corner. He's going to be taking on Fabian Edwards. It's Johnny Eblen back here on the program. Johnny, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I know all along you knew that you'd be fighting Fabian Edwards, but just how excited are you that it's now finally booked and you're going to be fighting here pretty soon?
Dude, I'm happy because, it's a long layoff. I think it's about 8 months. Last time I fought was February, so I've been itching to get back in there, and it's nice that it's going to be sooner rather than later now. For a while it kind of sucked. I'm always training, I'm always sparring, and always trying to get better, and it's sometimes tough whenever you don't have something coming up for a while. But now it's a few weeks away or a couple weeks away, and ready to get in there and fucking bust some heads.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it, man. You, like I mentioned there, you kind of knew all along you'd be fighting him. When did you actually get this fight signed? Like, how much of a camp have you had?
I pretty much had it. Technically, they announced it right after he beat Gegard in Paris, and then it took a little while to get the paperwork, but I've been training for this fight, since then. Even before that, I was helping guys out for camps and consistently training and sparring. So, I'm never really out of camp in a way.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is your first time fighting outside the U.S., right?
Yeah, this is the first time I fought outside. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, actually. I went to Dublin to watch Yaroslav Amosov unify the title when he fought Logan Storley, and the crowd was amazing, and the people were cool, and the venue was great, and Dublin's such a nice city, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, man, I really want to fight here. And I remember I was kind of talking to Mike Kogan, and I was like, hey man, I really like Dublin. I wouldn't mind fighting there. And I told him I called dibs, and he made it happen. And now I'm headlining the next Dublin card, and fucking excited to do it.
And it'll be cool too, because obviously, he's from the UK, so I'm sure he'll have some of the fans on his side. But a lot of people love you as well. What type of reception are you expecting out there in Ireland?
I would assume a warm reception. I don't think Irish people really love people from England. So
right.
And I'm part Irish. I don't know about Fabian, but I don't think he's Irish. Maybe he is.
No, he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's Irish. I just figured maybe because it's close, they're on his side. I don't know. We'll see. So that's interesting.
Who knows? Yeah, they could take his side, but you know what? I don't really care. If I fight in enemy territory, that's cool too. It's not going to change the way I fight, and when they watch me fight, they're going to be very excited and very pleased with my performance. So I think I'll gain some fans, if anything.
Stylistically, how do you look at a fight with you and Fabian?
I just think I caused too many problems for him. I utilize a lot of pressure. I can be slick at times. I can strike. I can wrestle. I can grapple. I'm always just in your fucking face, and I make you fight a pace you're not used to. And it's just how I train. It's how I spar. It's just like I don't fight any differently, And I can crack. I can hit hard. I can wrestle hard. I have good cardio. I just bring a lot of problems to the table, and I'm a hard puzzle to solve.
What did you make of his win over Gegard Mousasi? You guys have that common opponent.
It was like a glorified sparring match in a way. No one really got hurt, like bad. No one like. They were close rounds, but Fabian was winning. Clearly won the fight, but it was like I wasn't too impressed. Like no one really, went out of their comfort zone to fucking, try to get a finish really, except there was one moment where Gegard, I think he reversed Fabian and he started laying some ground and pound and was on top, and then he threw the knee and it like kind of touched Fabian like in the chest / head area. So they stopped it, and it was a little bit weird. I don't know. I mean, Fabian showed some good stuff in that fight, and, obviously, Gegard's no pushover. But I think I changed Gegard's career, man. He didn't look the same after me. Like I broke that guy, man. Like as sad as it is to say, I think I changed that guy. He hasn't really been hurt very often in fights, and I hurt him, and I just mauled him. So Yeah, man, I don't know. Relative to my fight with Gegard and comparing the two, I felt like I did a lot more damage. There was no moment where Gegard had me in a corner or had me, curled up in a ball. There was a couple moments, where Gegard had Fabian like that. So I think I put on a better performance versus him. Not to take anything away from Fabian. He's a great fighter. Obviously, he's about to fight me for a world championship. So, yeah, it is what it is. Decent performance, I would say.
Training camp, you're at one of the biggest and best gyms in the world, an American Top Team. Who have been some of the main guys helping you this time around for this fight?
Man, Artem Levin. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's a 6-time kickboxing world champion. Yeah. And we've been fucking going after it, man. Trained with him a lot. Roman Feraldo, Christoph Jocko, Josh De Silva, Aldi Silveira. Who else, man? Everybody. I train with everybody, man. I was training with Dustin for his fight, so he kind of helped me out with some stuff. Trained a little bit with Gegard Mousasi. You name it. I've trained with everybody at the gym, so too many people to name, really.
Yeah, no, for sure. And a lot of variety, which is great. That's one of the big benefits of being at the camp there. What about your corner for this fight? Who's going to be making the trip down there to Dublin with you?
So I'm going to have Mike Brown, Thiago Alves, Dustin Poirier is going to be there, and a buddy of mine, JP Reese. He used to fight way back in the day. He's like an OG. He ended up quitting a while back, and now he's just a father and works and is in the wrestling community down here in South Florida. But that's who I'm going to have in my corner. And yeah, man, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a few guys on the card with me. We're going to have JJ Wilson, Roman Feraldo, and Sabah.
Yeah, it'll be a nice American Top Team takeover, man. How's this fight playing out? I know you feel like you're going to win, but how do you envision the fight going down?
Man, I've been thinking about it, and there's so many ways it could go. It could go all 5, and I just beat the living shit out of him. Or it could go 1 round, and I KO him. Or, I maul him, beat him up, make him quit, break him, and finish him either TKO or submission. I've been working a lot of things on my game to start finishing fights, especially with these higher level opponents. And I just think things are starting to click, and I think we're going to start seeing more and more finishes out of me.
Got to mention this just because it's happening this weekend in the UFC. We've got the middleweight title on the line, your division. Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland. I believe you trained a bit with Strickland, but I was curious how you think that fight plays out on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I train with Strickland. Me and him are boys. I like him a lot. He gives me good rounds. I actually trained with him in August, and we fought for 5 rounds, and it was great. Always awesome training with that guy. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. As long as Sean fights smart and utilizes his all-around capabilities of what he can bring to the table. If he just tries to kickbox with Izzy, it might be not in his favor, because Izzy's been doing that for his whole life, and he's just very, very tactical and good at scoring and outpointing everybody. I think if Sean can make it a bit dirty, get into the ground here and there, and make it more of a dogfight, I think he has good odds to win.
I want to ask you a couple rapid fire questions, just whatever comes to mind first. Say whatever comes to mind. Who do you think is the best striker in MMA right now?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess I would say Izzy, maybe.
Okay. Who's the best grappler?
Right now, probably Islam.
Who's the funny?
I take the first one back. It's Volk, because he doesn't have the reach a lot of times, and he outstrikes a lot of people.
Okay,
So,
I like it.
First one's Volk.
Okay, and then second one you said Islam. Who's the funniest fighter?
Funniest? Honestly, Sean.
I was gonna say I'm training with the guy. I'm sure there's no one. He could do stand-up comedy in a second. The dude's got the best improv out there. I would agree with that.
There's just no filter. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Who'd you want if you could have dinner with any fighter? Who would it be?
Dinner with honestly, George St. Pierre.
Excellent answer. Who would you want by your side in a street fight?
Jorge Masvidal.
I was going to say I'd be surprised if you didn't say that. Who do you think is the highest fight IQ in MMA right now?
Highest fight IQ. Maybe Demetrius Johnson.
Excellent answer. And last one, what is a dream fight you'd like to see?
Me versus Izzy.
There we go. Love it. Love it. And speaking of you, after this fight, like obviously there's all the rumors going around about Bellator and all that. Do you just kind of focus on the task at hand? I know Coker came out saying they are going to do more events past Bellator 300, but what do you know, how do you react to all these rumors that are going around about them getting bought?
Doesn't really matter to me. I have a contract that has to get honored, so I'm just gonna keep fighting. I don't really care. I'm getting paid really well. If they get bought out, then my contract, isn't it, and they don't honor my contract, I'll find a way to deal with that. But if they honor it and I get paid the same, I don't really care, man. That's all that really matters to me is what's on that paper and what I signed to, what I agreed upon to do a training camp and show up at the cage and put on a performance. So at the end of the day, I really don't care about the label. I just care about what's going to my paycheck and going to my bank account. And if it's PFL, Bellator, UFC, One, freaking Ryzen, I don't care, man. I'm just here to fight, make money, and have fun punching people in the face, man, and just doing what I do best.
Who do you think gets the winner of this fight?
The next in line would be Aaron Jeffries, I would say.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, because obviously he got a win over. He's had 2 wins over 2 of your teammates. Does that add a little bit more? Just if you guys were to ever fight.
Nah, I mean, I just fucking beat his ass.
Okay.
I just show up and fucking. It's just like it's another work day for me, man. Like,
yeah.
There's no hatred because like he beat 2 of my teammates. He actually lost to a guy that I beat too. He lost to John Salter.
That's right.
And I murked John Salter. So
there you go.
Yeah.
The MMA math.
It is what it is. If he's the next in line, he's the next to get punched in the face.
Well said. Before we go, you still doing the carnivore diet? What's your diet looking like? Because we talked about this last time. I know you're big on the animal-based stuff.
Could you say that again? You kind of cut out.
No worries. I was just asking if you're still on the animal-based diet. You're still eating that way?
For the most part, yeah. I experiment with some other stuff too, but yeah, I would say my base is more animal based than anything. The main thing I just try to stay away from is like seed oils and processed foods, and here and there I'll have bread just to see how my gut reacts to it, or like legumes and seeds. I'll try them out, but like not a lot. But the most important thing I think is staying away from like processed foods and like seed oils.
Big time. Yeah, I agree with you there. Do you bring any of that with you out on the boat? I always love your Instagram posts. It seems like every Sunday you're getting to enjoy some nice time on the water. Yeah,
I have a few friends that have boats, or I'll get invited on a yacht party or something. And for the most part, I just drink water and eat fruit and hang out. Some of the friends might be drinking, but it is what it is. I'm in camp, or I really don't like to drink very often. Here and there I'll have a drink, but for the most part I kind of stay away from it. It can be pretty detrimental to your health. So yeah, man, I like getting out in the sun, being on the water, and enjoying some good company.
And doing interviews, Johnny. Thanks for the time, man. I really appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Man, there's a lot of people I would have to thank. Thank Ticket Socket. I could thank Functional Patterns. I could thank My Lead, Noodle House, Soul Taco, Wavelink, American Top Team, Sucker Punch Entertainment. And if I forgot you, my bad. Also want to give a shout out to my girlfriend. She's been helping me a lot during this camp, and all my coaches and my teammates that have been helping me out for this camp. And still, man, and still.